Finally, in terms to know, I'm just going to, you should have gotten all the definitions and terms used in context from the video. So I'm just going to go over the extension answers. You can see the definitions and how they're used in context in the left. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to go through the extension answers. So for manifest destiny, I do think manifest destiny is a good thing, the belief of Americans to go west to the Pacific Ocean, because if the Americans hadn't done it, another country would have. And I think America is a great country. I think Americans have done wonderful things after moving west and built great cities and helped lots of people and kept the country open to people from other countries, and also established a lot of beautiful national parks. Obviously, there's been some negative effects of people moving west in terms of Native Americans and effects on the environment and things like that. But overall, I think manifest destiny was a good thing. Treaty. A synonym for the word treaty is an agreement. Inventor. An inventor that's very famous, maybe you've heard of him, is Alexander Graham Bell. He invented the telephone. The inventors that you would have learned about were Robert Fulton, Joe Anderson, Cyrus McCormick, Eli Whitney. Those were some of the famous inventors from today's lesson. The steam locomotive makes me think of trains, and the closest train station to my house is the Vienna Metro. I kind of live right in between the Vienna Metro and the Reston Metro. An entrepreneur, some famous entrepreneurs that I thought of were Ray Kroc, if you never heard of him. He's the guy who kind of invented McDonald's. He made McDonald's a chain all across the country. So if you've ever been to McDonald's, you have Ray Kroc to thank. And I also picked Madam C.J. Walker. She invented lots of beauty products, specifically for African American women to use. And she was a self-made millionaire. Fertile. An antonym, the opposite of fertile, is infertile, or a place where crops cannot grow. Productivity. Something that's produced much faster today than it was in the 1800s. I picked bricks because bricks were tended to be made by hand in the 1800s. It took a very long time to make bricks, to build a brick building. There actually weren't many buildings made of bricks because they were expensive. And now bricks are much more readily available, and they're made in mass, and they can be shipped to wherever you're building. Labor, a task that was more difficult to complete in the 1800s than it is today. I picked grocery shopping. Obviously, when you go grocery shopping, you can buy meat, you can buy fish, you can buy cereal, you can buy candy, you can buy water, you can buy toilet paper. So we can get all of our stuff at one place, which is pretty cool. In the 1800s, that wasn't the case. Most of the time, you had to wait for a train to arrive to get your hands on a lot of goods. And that didn't, in some places, that didn't happen too often. Or you would have to wait for a ship to arrive if you lived near at a port city. The three vastest states in America are California, Alaska, and Texas. Once a territory became populated, it would apply for statehood. So a territory becomes a state. Lewis and Clark were looking for an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean, different from the other explorers we learned about in the fall, the European explorers. Most of them were looking for gold or riches or places to grow cash crops. Lewis and Clark were looking for a route, a trade route called the Northwest Passage. A country that has the word republic in it. Some of you might have put the Dominican Republic. I put the People's Republic of China. And the climate in the Southwest, I put dry and desert-like. Arid would be another word that you could have used.